All right, yo, what's up? So, about 4 hours ago now, I'm recording this very, very early in the morning. There was a blue post by Scarizard talking about and outlining a lot of the frequently asked questions on season four. A lot of like random stuff has been changing with season four, including like faded raids. There's a new seasonal affix. There's dinars, which are like a new currency to allow you to like buy specific items off a vendor. There's a lot of different stuff changing, and there hasn't been a ton of communication off of like what's going to be going on with season four. Blizzard seems like they're all hands on deck in alpha mode, and so Scarizard decided to take the time to make a massive blue post clearing up a bunch of things. And so I'm going to take this as an opportunity to relay this information to the lovely people of YouTube and the lovely people of my channel and talk to you about the things that you need to know about Shadowlands Season 4. Okay, so basically this says, hello, this will be the last major post regarding Season 4. There's going to be patch notes, but I think realistically the patch notes aren't going to be encompassing a lot. There's also not a lot of class tuning in this patch just in general, so maybe there's going to be some class tuning that's going to show up in the next couple of days, but as it currently stands, there hasn't been much, if like any reasonable class tuning. There's been like a couple of nerfs to Destro Lock and Survival Hunter, but beyond that, there's really not anything else. So that's something that is just to be addressed at the very beginning. This post also going to be linked down in the description, so you can take a look at it yourself. You can link to your guildies, you can link to your friends, you can link it to whoever. So first thing is conduits. Conduit levels are not increasing, meaning they'll stay at a maximum 278. 278 will become the new normal item level for faded raids, so you're able to get basically all of your conduits at 278 item level. The Vessel of Profound Possibilities, an item available from your Covenant vendors in Season 3 that upgraded all of your conduits to item level 278 is changing. It no longer requires Season 3 in-game achievements like 3K Mythic Plus rating, Duelist, etc., but instead will be purchasable by all characters for Cosmic Flux. This is important, so you can actually buy your 278. You can buy your 278 conduits without like any requisites, just for Cosmic Flux. And so go grab your 278 conduits once the patch hits. It's going to be a pretty decent bump in item level for your character and a pretty decent bump in power for depending on your spec, I guess. So that's something you should absolutely do once the patch hits. Legendaries and crafting. So crafted Shadowlands legendaries will not increase in rank, staying in a max rank of rank 7 with item level 291 for the season. You're not going to need to buy new legendaries. You're not going to need to upgrade new legendaries. You're good with the 291 ones. Save some gold. It will be totally fine. I will say this is a bit weird about the new Crafter's Mark not being in here and about the legendaries not upgrading, but I think that Blizzard probably views this as like it's been too much of a gold sink just on the whole. And so I think that updating the legendaries from 291 to like probably like 320, I guess would be the maximum, is probably just not beneficial for them. Cosmic Flux will remain from Season 3 and won't disappear on Season Rollover. So that's something that, I mean, don't really worry about buying the Vessel of Profound Possibilities. That'd be so weird, like if Cosmic Flux would just go away. A reminder, since our last post, there's now an item to transfer Cosmic Flux on your other character to your account at Quartermaster. So basically you can, like Cosmic Flux is account wide now. It has been for, I want to say, a couple of weeks. And so you can consolidate all of your Cosmic Flux onto your main. You can move it onto alts if you're looking to upgrade some gear, that kind of thing. Sandworm Relics will be moving to BOA status, but otherwise we'll see no updates. I mean, this is kind of fine. Basically, the Sandworm Relics are the things that allow you to buy the item level 241? I think they're item level 241 pieces from Zerath Mortis. They may be like 252. They're low item level pieces, but now the Sandworm Relics are going to be moving to BOA status. And so if you have like really low level characters, or you just boosted a character or something along those lines, you're able to use the Sandworm Relics and kind of power gear like probably one character. Sandworm Relics weren't that quick to come by, but I have like a decent amount of them. I think I have like 1,000 or something. Unused attendance tokens of merit from Season 3 Great Vaults will be going away upon season start, converting them into gold at a rate of 1,000 gold per token. The attendance token of merits are the things that you take out of the Great Vault So it's like the coins that you can convert into like convert into sockets. Okay, I was looking for the word. You can convert them into sockets. I was drawing a blank, and so I would probably, if I had to advise you what to do, I would just probably convert these into sockets. But like reasonably, if you have all of your gear socketed, you're not super worried on anything, and you don't have any additional gear that you want socketed, like it's totally fine to just convert it to gold. Not really. Actually, never mind. That's fake. Ephemeria Infused Mesh, the Season 3 socket item, will also cease to function on Season Rollover. Just not even work. Players with this item in their back can sell for 6,000 gold, the same price of 6 tokens of merit. I was just making stuff up. You don't even need to buy the socket item. So I guess I would highly recommend socketing items in advance, because that would probably be of benefit to you. Tokens of merit are returning in Season 4 with a new socket or item, priced at only 3 tokens to account for the season's length. This item worked on Season 4 items from Raid, PvP, and Mythic Plus, just as the ones before did. So there's going to be a new socket item. That's pretty cool. Mythic Plus Keystone Decay between seasons is at -3 levels, as it has been in past seasons. For example, if your highest time key this week is a +18, you will receive a +15 key upon opening your vault or speaking to Toss Up and Oribus when Season 4 begins. Okay, so basically all you need to be doing is an 18 if you're looking to immediately do 15s once the patch hits. I would say less relevant this season than like on a season that like a new raid is coming out. But at the same point, it's probably going to be nice to just have a 15 to be doing immediately. With few exceptions, old dungeon items are going to retain their original stats when scaling up into Season 4. This means primary stats on rings from Warlords of Draenor, trinkets with no primary stats, the Mechagon rings, plus other unique items for these dungeons. Mechagon rings, and then like the bracers as well, I think are the things that they're referring to. No confirmation on the... Was it the Drape of Shame? The Scarizard item? I'm pretty sure there's basically no confirmation on stuff like that. But I suspect the answer is maybe, because it doesn't say like the Scarizard stuff. It only says like Mechagon rings. They'll all be enabled. Our intent is for the season to keep as many of these things from the dungeons as there were wherever possible. Azerite armor kits from King Mechagon is removed. From Operation Mechagon is loot pool. As some of you may know, Warlords of Draenor had a different loot system where over 100 items were shared between the dungeons. I was about to explain this, but they're about to, I knew that they were going to explain this. I already read this earlier. Where over 100 items were shared between all dungeons. For Season 4, Grimrail Depot and Iron Docks loot table will comprise of the items unique to the dungeon, as well as a mix of items chosen from that large shared pool to bring in line with other dungeons. Basically, it's like, I talked about this in another video. They need to modernize loot pools for the dungeons. TLDR, they have like 5 helmets of different stats, 5 shoulders of different stats, 5 chests of different stats in every single dungeon. And so they're probably just going to pick one of the 5. And nobody knows which of the 5 they're going to be picking. So that's something. Mythic Plus end of run items won't be capped week 1 in like previous seasons. That's cool. So basically, if you jump in and do a 15, since it's not like brand new raid content, or like there's no heroic week. Okay, so basically it's because there's no heroic week. So since there's no heroic week, you're not going to be capped at end of run like eye level. And so in previous seasons you'd be doing 10s. Now you can just like run straight into 15s and totally be fine. Non-Tazavest Shadowlands dungeons are gaining an increase in baseline item level, but these items are not upgradable with Valor. Only items from Season 4 Mythic Plus pool will be upgradable with Valor. Increase in baseline item level. Okay. That makes sense. Mythic is available on launch with no delay. That's like basically something that's pretty massive. Cross-realm rating will stay on as there is no Hall of Fame for Season 4. Raid skips in previous seasons will work in the difficulties you unlocked them for. For example, if you have the Kel'Thuzad skip for Heroic Sanctum of Domination during the weeks where Sanctum is the fated raid, you'll be able to use that skip only on Heroic Fated difficulty. Castle and Atherian Sanctum of Domination now get up to 2,000 reputation with the Court of Harvesters, and Death's Advance in all difficulties. This is okay. Who asked this? When these raids are fated, they will drop up to 2,000 Cosmic Flux as well. So you're going to be able to get infinite Cosmic Flux from this raid. Items received from fated raids will maintain their fated tag when transformed into class set armor by the Creation Catalyst, meaning they will also be upgradable via the Heroic/Mythic upgrade currencies method mentioned in the original post. That's cool. So you're going to be able to get like 315 item level Mythic tier relatively fast, assuming you have creation catalyst charges. Most people should have creation catalyst charges. So one of the things that they have said, but didn't include in this post, is like, people were asking about like what's the relative difficulty of the raids going to be like. They were basically saying like, if you have already cleared like this dungeon or like this raid on whatever difficulty, say it's on Mythic, we'll just use Mythic for example. If you've already cleared the raid on Mythic difficulty, then Fated Mythic should be pretty easy, is what they've kind of said. That's kind of their goal. They don't want you to be like fully reprogging on a week-to-week basis. That wouldn't make any sense for them. And so the raids are supposed to be a little bit easier. As for like relative tuning, I'm not sure how much easier they're going to be, but they have said that they wanted it to be just a little bit easier and be like something to where you're not trying to prog all of Castle Nathria in 1 week. As a legendary weapon, the Sylvanas bow will not be available to purchase, be purchasable on the broker vendor with dinar. I'm not shocked. For players that already have the bow, an item will be purchasable for the broker vendor that will bring the weapon to item level 285. That bangs. Big fan of that. And so I think that that's super cool. Sylvanas herself will still drop the bow on Fated weeks, and like it functioned in Season 2, it will drop items in place of the bow for anyone who still holds that upgrade to Season 4 normal, heroic, or mythic item levels, respectively. So basically, you're able to get like a mythic item level upgrade if you kill like Sylvanas and you're supposed to get it. Or mythic fated Sylvanas. On top of this, to account for the shorter season and the difficult to get items of both Rail Shalar and Edge of Night, they will have an increased drop rate on all difficulties and versions of Sanctum Domination. Oh, that's super cool. So Edge of Night, I think, is purchasable. So Edge of Night is like the rogue daggers, but Rail Shalar is going to be just like have a higher drop rate. I actually didn't know that. That's super sick for hunters specifically. We're also going to be making a series of changes, balance changes to trinkets and special weapons. That Edge of Night item is going to get nerfed. To special weapons obtainable from all 3 Shadowlands raids and some from Shadowlands dungeons. While we won't go over the specific changes here, the patch notes will have you covered soon. We're making these changes for a few reasons. We want to remove the advantage some players might have from having a 278 versions of a Shadowlands trinket from the Season 3 Great Vault, considering that Shadowlands dungeon trinkets will be obtainable at a max of 262. Oh, interesting. So they're going to be nerfing things like 278 IQD. They're going to be nerfing things like, that's so interesting. So your trinkets that you may have farmed out on this patch may show up a little bit worse. It's probably not going to be the dungeons from the trinkets from the raid. They're almost certainly only going to be trinkets from Mythic Plus. So if you think about like the strongest trinkets from Mythic Plus, probably going to get hit. Like Blood Spattered Scale, IQD come to mind. What are other, like Ruby come to mind from Theater of Pain? Those are the things that immediately come to mind of things that they're probably going to nerf. It's going to be outlined in a patch note soon, probably. Second, with raids rotating, we want to make sure that a higher amounts of items looted from a raid on a given week have a chance of being satisfying upgrades for players. You can imagine a scenario where Castle Nathria, for example, might not be worth it if all of the quote good trinkets come from a different raid you won't be able to access for 1 to 2 weeks. Additionally, Season 4 is a unique opportunity for us to look at these item levels with a full season or more of hindsight, and thus be able to improve ones that we feel like were close power level wise, but not quite enough to be competing with popular or easy to acquire ones. So they're going to try to be bringing stuff, most specifically trinkets, more in line with one another between the 3 raids to make sure that you're not like, say like Cabal's Hymnal was just the worst trinket in the game by far, but it was the best trinket from Castle Nathria. So most casters ran Hymnal whenever Nathria was current. But say it just wasn't even close to things like you get in Sanctum of Domination or Sepulchre, then you just wouldn't, like say it was not close to Elegy, which I don't think it is, but I haven't looked at the numbers on it. They're going to try to tune some of the trinkets. This also probably is going to go for other gear as well. I suspect like the Vein Ripper may be in line as well for potentially either a nerf or I probably nerf if I had to guess that, but I'm not 100% sure. At the same point, like most trinkets, I think are on the table for that. Lastly, given the limited number of dinar currencies We've seen a lot of fear from players that they will be afraid to spend them, only to have an item nerfed or another item made better. We're front-loading these changes at the start of the season and intend on staying as hands-off as possible, so decisions made about which items you can buy can be removed from the fear of those numbers changing dramatically. So basically, if you don't know, it's like, I already kind of explained this, but there's a vendor and you're able to purchase very specific items, but you can only purchase, I think, up to 4 of them across the whole entire season. And so that's like a deterministic way of purchasing items. At the same point, you do still have items dropping from the raid. So don't feel like you're just SOL if you don't get exactly what you want. This is more like a BLP because the raids are rotating so often. So you are able to purchase, I think it's 4, and maybe only 3, but I'm pretty sure it's 4 items with the currency. That's all for the wrap up. Cool. So that's basically all you need to know for Shadowlands Season 4. There's going to be, it sounds like a thing of patch notes. In addition to that, there's going to be a new seasonal affix, like a couple of things that I just want to cover. There's going to be a new seasonal affix, and basically with that, it's called Shrouded. Yeah, it's called Shrouded, and there are basically these, how do I even describe them? There's these demons that I guess are summoned, like they manifest themselves inside of mobs, and whenever you tag them, they turn into the demons, and they give you stats. That's another thing that you probably need to know for the new season. But basically, beyond that, not much else to cover. The raids are going to be rotating every single week with which one is fated. I heard that they're starting with Castle Nathria, and yeah, that should just be it for you guys today. I hope this helps. I will link this FAQ. The patch notes sound like they should be soon as well if you're looking for a little bit more information in regards to Season 4. But that's going to do it for me today. I just woke up, so I don't really know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, but I hope you guys have a great rest of yours. Goodbye.